Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation. These two areas will create the most increased demand for silver. Let's explore. You've heard me talk about these applications before, but I think it bears revisiting, especially in a way that we can kind of visualize this through an infographic that's been released here from visualcapitalist.com about silver's role in the new energy era. And we're talking about green energy. We know that silver is going to be increased in demand in that sector, but there's two specific areas that I think are the pinpoint and focus of this infographic here that certainly we should be considering and taking a look at. And as far as the industrial demand for silver is concerned, and how versatile it has become, and how much demand has increased even in the past 5-6 years, and how we'll project out into the future here. A silver-intensive future certainly is the theme here in this video. A green future will be mineral-intensive, and metals will find new uses in green technology. And silver is no exception. By the way, it should be noted that the copper has really shot up in price, and a lot of it will be utilized even more so than silver in these technologies. But notwithstanding, even if it were to go up 4 times, it's probably not worth buying copper bullion at this point or at that point, just because of the cost to manufacture it. The premiums would be incredibly high before you could ever get any kind of return on your hedge there, or investment in that case. Long known as a precious metal, silver is also an industrial metal needed to create an eco-friendly future. So it's sort of at the center of where we're going in these technologies. So there is a lot of demand, and as the adoption of green technologies like solar power and electric vehicle increases, so will the demand for silver. And we can see those are our two areas, solar and electric vehicles, and you can see that nuclear is increasing to a degree here and projected out through the next decade here, but it is a very small slice compared to solar and auto electrical. In fact, by the time 2030 rolls around, we're going to see the number of ounces that silver will be needed for those utilizations are about half and half. Silver's importance in technologies was established long before the era of renewables, and let's take a look and see that it has been critical for tech. It's an antibacterial metal with the highest thermal and electrical conductivity. Silver has found uses in various technologies over time. Dating back to the Middle Ages, silver containers were used to store wine, water, and food to prevent spoilage. Families used silverware and silver utensils to protect themselves from the bubonic plague. And silver nitrate was used to treat ulcers and burns during those times. During the 1900s, we saw eye drops containing silver were administered to newborns in the United States. And during the First World War, silver sutures and foils were used to close and cover deep wounds. Until the 1970s, silver was used in photography for its light sensitivity. NASA chose silver as a viable option for water purification in space, and silver has been used in mirrors and building windows for its reflectivity for years. We move ahead into the 2000s, and this is where we see a lot of the technologies and the diversity of silver expand even more, with nanoparticles made of silver that are used in clothing, keyboards, and biomedical devices. Silver alloys are used for brazing and soldering in applications, automobiles, and aircraft. Silver bearings are used in aircraft engines. Silver acts as a biocide on hospital door handles, surgical tools, linens, and furniture. Silver is found in almost all electronics, from buttons and switches in houses to circuit boards and phones and computers. Green technologies like solar power, electrical vehicles, and nuclear power rely on silver. So it is quite vast. And silver, though it is plentiful, it is much more rare than the base metals out there. So copper, there's a lot more copper out there. And though you're going to see an increase in copper in these applications as well, silver's role will play a vital important. It is the most electrically conductive metal on the periodic table, hands down. So how does silver fit into the future of these green technologies? Among all the metals, silver has the highest conductivity, as I mentioned, making it an excellent choice for solar power generation. A typical solar panel can contain as much as 20 grams of silver. That's right, and that's a number that's been out there for quite a while, but they are able to get more with less silver these days. But you remember I showed in my video called The Largest Silver Unboxing on YouTube, and to this day it remains to be, when I showed the solar panels in my yard there. As global solar capacity grows, so will the demand for silver. There you go. That's right. And I agree. I think it will continue, and we'll look and see more about this. But let's take a look at the anatomy of a photovoltaic cell. That's right. PV cells are small in size, and their silver content is even smaller. You can see here in this diagram, you've got the electrical flow, the photon track, the anti-reflective coating, the conductors, and where the current is drawn, the N layer, the crystalline semiconductor, the P layer, and the reflective coating. So where's the silver there? When light strikes a PV cell, the conductors absorb the energy, and electrons are set free. The flow of electrons generates electricity, and this is where silver plays a crucial role. There are silver pastes that are used to create conductive layers within the cell, on top of and the bottom, and the silicon semiconductor. As the best conductor of electricity, silver carries and stores electricity efficiently, maximizing the energy output of the solar cell. And I didn't realize it was a paste. And here I thought the silvery looking strips were the silver itself. And though there could be some silver in those as well, they're very hard to get off and get out, because my solar contractor left me a damaged solar panel that I tried on this channel and in a video to try to extract the silver from. It was a miserable failure, and so it just goes to show you that it's not quite so easy to extract. It all has to be taken in and processed at the factory in order to recycle that silver. So here we see that great increased demand. We see historic and forecasted solar capacity by region from 2006 to 2030. This is quite something to see, this exponential growth in these areas dating as far back as 2006. And we can see in this era here was right around when we saw kind of a steady straight curve here, or increase, plane. This is about where I got my solar panels. And we can see that since then, it has rapidly grown into here 2021 for these technologies. They've become more viable, and by some measure of also being part of public policy, we're going to be starting to see more and more solar panels being utilized. And they are everywhere. China is the biggest use and applications of these solar panel technologies, which is pretty fascinating indeed. They are the largest polluter, by the way, of all the world for their nation. But there you have it. And we see Europe is third, Asia, and developed Asia, anyway, is fourth. And there you have it. Fascinating indeed. Then the next area is in electric vehicles, EVs. That's right. Just like other electronic appliances, Electric vehicles make use of silver for its conductivity and corrosion resistance. Virtually every electrical connection in a vehicle has silver already, and over 55 million ounces of the white metal are used annually by motor vehicles. And we can see the projected global electric vehicle sales from 2015 all the way up to 2040. So we can see cumulative sales and projected annual sales, and we can see here that it is ever increasing, moving forward into the future, electric vehicles. And then we have electrical contacts coated with silver are used for operating electric windows, moving electrically powered seats. Silver ceramic lines are used for defogging car windows during the winters, and automatic parking systems, distance sensing systems, and starting the engine and spark plugs. So there you go. Silver are utilized in many different ways in these vehicles. And so yes, but they're also used in ICE, which is internal combustion engine vehicles as well, for sure. As more consumers go electric, EVs are expected to account for 49% of silver use in automobiles by 2040. And, and that is notwithstanding the dirty little secret about electronic vehicles, at least right now, is that electric vehicles take a lot of energy to recharge. That energy essentially comes from coal-powered plants, which is a polluter. So that's something to consider too. Hopefully they'll work that problem out as well. And we can see projected silver use in the auto sector here. The electric vehicle, hybrid electric vehicle, and ICE, internal combustion engine. We can see the increase of that silver usage over time, and especially with the increase in these hybrids and electric vehicles by 2040 projected. As the world moves towards a greener future, silver will play an increasingly important role in demand for solar and electric vehicles. So fascinating indeed. Infographic here that gives some of these numbers and projected numbers where we're going with silver. And a lot of it thinks that many people think that because of this, the price of silver will go up. And I think it could. I think it will. But there are other mitigating factors as well, too, such as mining and the economy, and where the economy will be during that time as we move forward. And technology, too. They may find a way to be able to make more out of their silver or use less silver for these applications, which will spur demand or curb demand for the white metal. We'll find out. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.